For the purpose of unity, we must balance up our diversity to a large extent, and it is in view of this that I am making some proposals. I've had discussion with the leadership of the Senate, a cross-section of Nigerian senators, and quite a number of statesmen within our party and those who are not our party, as to how we can resolve and stop the fear of either Christian today or Muslim tomorrow about the nomination and election of candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, I propose, which I have told the leadership, that we amend Section 84 of the Electoral Act 2022 by inserting a new subclause 13 that no political party shall nominate candidate of the same religion as presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate after this dispensation. Yes, after this dispensation. Because when an oversight is committed the first time, you don't allow it to occur the second time, so that it doesn't become a policy. That's our proposal. I am a Christian, and I know what I'm telling you. That the option available for Nigeria is that we amend Electoral Act for future elections, so that we do not run into this issue of religion crisis again. And let me tell you, one of the words that is difficult to win is when you talk about religious war. I pray it doesn't happen in Nigeria. Amen. So when we come up with this solution, we are doing it as statesmen. I'm doing it personally because I've meditated over it. Make no mistake, I speak my mind. I've spoken in time past that some people commended, we appreciate it. If I'm speaking today and you don't believe what I'm saying, you have your opinion to hold. This is my own opinion. This is what I thought about. And you are not in doubt that I'm a Christian. I've gone to Bible college twice. So I'm a Christian. And I know what I'm telling you. That if we amend Section 84 and we put this clause there, it will guide us for future election. And we're not going to have a repeat of this crisis. But more importantly, hold your please, let me finish this address. When this is accommodated, it will serve as a guide against any oversight, as this in the future, as future occurrences will be deemed as silent policies which will be capable of bringing down the fabric of our nation. For me, as a statesman, I owe myself the responsibility to speak the truth, the way I see it at all times, irrespective of mischievous misinterpretations. The Civil War was fought in a bid to remain a united nation. We fought the war because the Southeast is an integral part and vital part of the nation. If they were not of value, if the people of Southeast Southeast are not of any value, there would have been no reason to fight a war. But because an average person from the Southeast is endowed like other part of the country, we fought to remain one. Therefore, any position that is good for any man or woman, whether he's a Kanuri man or Yoruba or Hausa or Gwari or Nupe, must equally be good for an Igbo man. And not a Yoruba man like myself. It must equally be good for a Fulani man, Igala, Ibira, or Idoma indigenous. We must ensure there is fairness, justice at all levels. Let no one assume that any tribe will be subdued any longer. The era of that is gone. We must rise to the reality of the modern world, that all men were created equal, and we must enable equal opportunities despite our diversity as a people. I therefore take this opportunity to appeal to our preferred incoming president and vice president, incoming President Bola Tinubu, and incoming vice president Kashim Shettima, not to fail Nigerians after the victory of our party, which we are all working tenaciously to achieve. They must be sensitive to the skepticism being expressed by the Christian part of the nation. It is imperative that you balance up key appointments to give all Nigerians a sense of belonging. For us as Northerners, we have considered the presidential seat to the Southern Nigeria. God spare our lives, we will at the right time sit again to arrive at which zone is due to produce the next president after the incoming dispensation. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, our being here is to brainstorm and interact at this national challenge so that we can find a pathways to it. We must remember that power is transient, and he who holds it today will not hold it tomorrow. We must therefore see it as what it is really, service to mankind, irrespective of your tribe or your religion. While we continue to speak up on serious contemporary issues, we must do so within the confines of decorum and respect. Growing up, I had a strong social and moral foundation of life by my parents, so I respect my elders. Be that as it may, I am still a product of one of the best professions, journalism, and it teaches us to write the truth and damn the consequences, regardless of the consequences. The training I received as a journalist cumulated into my emergence as the national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists for 2 terms. It's what manifests in me each time I speak, either at the floor of the Senate or outside the Senate. I have stepped on toes while at it, then I must be forgiven because that was the profession and that was how I was trained. On a final note, I wish to call on all Nigerians, irrespective of your religion, to see the emergence of Asiwaju and Shettima, Kashim Shettima, as the will of the Almighty who governs the universe. It must not be seen that there are no Christians that are qualified, who are eminently qualified to occupy this position. It must not be seen as such. But let us believe and hold it that it pleases God to bring them. However, let us, in unity of faith, in our nation, and above all, in the Almighty God, give our support to the APC presidential and vice presidential candidate to pilot the affairs of our nation within the stipulated time. I say this because I have a track record of speaking the truth, irrespective of whoever is before me. I'm convinced that these 2 gentlemen will take Nigeria to a higher ground. I'm not in doubt. I've looked at all the other candidates, and I've had comments. To assess any human being or any leader is to ask his followers about that leader, is to ask others about that leader, and look at the antecedent of that leader. What has he done in time past? What is the record of service? How far has he been fair and just to others? I have no doubt that Asiwaju is a man who is embedded with the spirit of fairness, justice, and equity. I can't say that of one other person. But I can say that of Asiwaju, and I can show you evidence of some of the pictures I took over only 20 years ago. And I have not been relating with him the last 7-10 years. So when I speak on conviction. I don't speak to join crowd, and nobody can use me for anything. If I'm not convinced on any issue, I will not come out, I will not tell you. I'm not somebody anybody will buy. When I believe on an issue, I stand by it. Even if I have to step on toes, I will stand by it. I stand by it that both Shettima and Asiwaju are good enough for our nation. And they will give Nigeria a new name. And I'm not in doubt that the issue raised by Khan, which I am in support, will be guided against reoccurring by Asiwaju and Shettima. My colleagues, I ask you to give support to the APC. To support the APC because the next election may not just be the issue of party. It's going to be candidates. Yes. Make no mistake about it. Let nobody tell you that one party is bad. The people you see in PDP today, some of them were in APC before. Those of us who are in APC today were PDP before. What differentiates us? What you should ask, the question that should guide you is, who is this character? Yes. What are his antecedents? I will not ask you to vote purely on party. Look at the candidates. The candidate determines the future of generation to come. And I'm telling you that this candidate should not be seen as APC candidate. You should see Asiwaju as Nigeria candidate, yes. Shettima as Nigeria candidate, yes. Because they have the requirement, the qualities that will look forward to the kind of a leader that will govern us. Everybody talk about the development of Lagos. Just last week, Fashola said, Asiwaju built the foundation of what Lagos is today, yes. And that they have not finished. Yes. If Asiwaju can do that in Lagos, don't forget there was a time Lagos was not receiving allocation from the federal government. And they did everything possible. Today, go and visit Lagos. So in essence, is the person we have to look at and what people say about him. Is he committed? Is he a man who can turn things around I think Asiwaju can do that. Nigeria is a